Hello, hypothetical viewers. Let's go back. Hello, hypothetical dragon. When we are playing Shining Force, it's possible that there's a shining dragon somewhere in the Shining Force. I couldn't tell you. In any case, we have reached the village of Keto, and according to the guide I'm using from Shining Force Central, we have a couple items to find here and a new character, so that's very exciting. Here's an additional sign. Church is closed. Keto is on the southern edge of North Parmesia. Well, thanks for letting us know that, buddy. Metula ignores you. This is great. Where'd you come from, boy? South Parmesia, really? That on the south is black. Well, we blew it up with a cannon, so, you know. Hiding lives. This town is full of signs. No weapon or item sales, devils. Oh, because this town has been taken over by devils. And they've helpfully posted signs in the middle of random pathways. Devils apparently do not have like a great concept of like civil engineering or anything. Hey, listen to me, okay. Pacalon was always a good customer for us. They bought a lot, but now we can't sell our weapons because of the devils. Annoying devils. I like that these devils are kind of being played as this fairly serious threat, but the most they do is annoy people by closing shops and post signs in the middle of roadways. So they seem an oddly benign sort of enemy. Don't work. It feels like some sort of like weird communist revolution has taken over. Pacalon will never come to save you. Now, because it's been about a year since I last played this, I'm just wondering, was Pacalon a place we went before? It sounds vaguely familiar. No praying today, devils. These signs are so good. I like how weirdly silly they are. Why did you come here? Pacalon has become isolated since we opposed the devils. So is Pacalon this like entire area? Or is that somewhere we're going? In any case, the church is closed, but he's standing right next to it, so actually it's fine. I also love how the devils are like, oh, we're going to oppose Metula by closing the church, but they didn't actually stop this guy from like doing his job. He can still resurrect people from the dead for a small fee. You'd think they would have let him out of the town or something. The devils were surprisingly ineffectual. The weapon seller is somewhere around here too, apparently. What else we need? There is not. I'll save later. I have a save state anyway. Because you can't have very many... The thing is, you can only have 2 save games in this game. So in order to do archival saving in case videos break, the save states are just much more useful. You doubt the punishment? Devils. These signs are really vague, too. Oh, here's the bright honey. Very nice. I don't know what it does. It might boost stats or something. Oh, I forgot to talk to that guy. Let's see what he has to say. I've completely forgotten why we came. It's unusually hot. Is Metula as sick as I've heard? Oh, because I think she's like the water goddess or something. So maybe she controls, I don't know, the rain. Don't go out or you'll be punished. But all these people are wandering around and seem fine. That was for beta out, and yet half the town, a book, Villages and Towns, that's quite a book. Travels, it's very broad and generalized. But yeah, half the town seems to be wandering around in the streets, and they're apparently doing alright. So the devils have not made too much progress. Let's see if we can... The weapon seller is supposed to be around here somewhere, and I do want to try and buy some new weapons because our dudes seem really weak recently, and I'm like, maybe we've fallen behind on our upgrades? Gotta be around here somewhere. It's not that big of a town. I feel like I should really be able to find this. Oh, maybe back here somewhere. Wow, there was actually a fairly large section back here. This town is not set up in a way that lets you get around easily. Oh, here's the weapon seller. It's a secret, okay? The devils didn't notice you standing back here. Come to my shop. Okay. It really seems like the devils are not particularly impeding on the life of this town, since he could just go right back to his shop. They're not like giving an eye on things or anything. Okay, let's see what they have. Oh, oops, I rushed through that. I think I already... Broadsword, Buster Sword, Heavy Lance, Lojax. Well, let's see what we... Let me look through what we have right now. Here's my menu. Items, use. Let's just see what everyone has. I have that magic sword we got. Power stick, so we could beef her up. I might get them the Guardian Staves instead of the Interstaff, because the Guardian Staves boost defense, and they're a little squishy. Oh yeah, he only has the Steel Lance and the Spear, so these will all be... Oh man, no wonder we were so weak. We're like well behind in terms of upgrades. That explains why we were sucking so much last battle. Like, holy shit. We were... Well, maybe I'll buy some healing items first as well. Because we used a whole bunch of them. Okay, I need to stop holding down the A button. Fuck. Really need to not do that. I keep forgetting that there's not an extra prompt at the end. We have plenty of gold. I can buy some healing drops. Scroll all the way up. Main character definitely needs to be able to heal himself. I want to make sure everyone has like at least one healing item. Oh, I think we can finally get him a weapon because I think he can use the glove, and we do have the glove. This is going to be the episode that's just shopping. Saws. Luke can have 2 of these. He doesn't have anything else. Oh, a lot of gold. Road is the guy I wasn't really using. Rick, the other guy I wasn't using. Garnet can have one. I have to admit, and I think I've said this before, I found the characters in the first game slightly more lovable on the whole. I was more attached to them, and I do think it's just the nostalgia because I played it as a kid, but it has reduced my enthusiasm for outfitting this entire party of characters that are not terribly useful. Okay, now let's start looking through these weapons. Heavy Lance, that's gonna be an upgrade, Oh, actually, you know what's happening here? I know exactly what's happening. Because we're not promoted. These must be the weapons that are for promoted characters. And we have been delaying in order to get ourselves to the maximum power. Because I really like min-maxing just a little bit. Man, this... This would explain why we're so weak, but it is also, oh wait, we can at least, oh yeah, see, he's a promoted character. For him, it's weaker than the Assault Shell, because he had an upgraded weapon to start with, but yeah, these are weapons that can be used by upgraded peeps. Whew, let me see if at least, maybe Gerald can use the Power Glove? No. We may have to go back and we may have to go to back to the Fairy Woods and grind just so we can promote. That would be like a bonus episode if I do that. For now, we will not do that. I'm pretty sure we can continue to backtrack in this game. Yeah, I guess, well, we've restocked on healing items. There doesn't seem to be that much else to this. Let's go on. Oh, Pacalon is a town that we're going to, I see. So let's go on to the battle. You know, we're good. Here we are. Yes, this is the to Pacalon. What the hell is this guy? Answer me, where are you going? Is he wearing a hat that's the same shade as his eyebrows, or does he just have like a really fancy like swoosh in his hair, like with gel? It's unclear. He's wearing some kind of hat, but it is not colored the same as in his portrait. Hi. Oh, they're talking to this guy. This must be Higgins, the fellow we're about to recruit. You're going to South Parmesha to get help, right? He seems really effectual. I'm sure he's going to make a big difference in our squad. Paladins of Pacalon are cowards. Higgins, don't you have any pride? Wimp. Shut up, Mr. Higgins is the bravest soldier in the world. This guy, it sounds like an 8-year-old. Shut up, Mr. Higgins is great. His name's also Mr. Higgins, apparently. I can defend myself. It does not seem like you can. Oh, they call him a half-breed. Is that like an insult because he's half horse, half man? The centaur people? Are you afraid of me? I'll turn my back to you. Now run away, you cowards. You've gone too far. I like how the other enemies are kind of just chilling. That little dragon dude and the dark bishop, they're relaxing. Pacalon soldiers have no honor. They attack while my back is turned. So are these people from Pacalon? And like I guess they were trying to get to South Parmesha where we were from to get help against the devils. So these are all people from Pacalon. If Mr. Higgins was not ill, you'd be history. They sent the sick dude to go get help? Wow. Pacalon is really doing their best to succeed here. Oh, is Higgins ill? In that case, you can try and take me. I can no longer put up with these insults. No. Ooh. You look so sad, Higgins. Both of your friends just instantly died. It's okay, you can get them rezzed at the church. You're not just a normal devil soldier, as evidenced by the fact that you have a unique face portrait. You're right, Higgins. I see why you're the leader of the Pacalon army. That does not really say anything good about the rest of the Pacalon army. I'm Geshp. That's kind of cute. An advisor for Zeon. Oh, that's right. Zeon is the king of the devils. I forgot that. Geshp, advisor to Zeon. How did you know my name? I know everything! Amazing. Now tell me the reason why you're keeping me alive. Haha, you're smart. Oh man, he summoned a devil. Oh, he's gonna possess him. I can't, my body won't. If I recall correctly, this happened to the king of our town, Grand Seal. I came here to borrow your body. Haha, welcome our new leader. Stop! It's Gandalf. I wish I could do a Gandalf voice. You know, like because he looks exactly like he's supposed to be Gandalf. Who said that? We must actually be fairly far away from him when you think about the scans map, so he's like looking across like fucking miles. We're just yelling so loudly he can hear us. A force from the south? How? Where did you come from? From the south, dude, you just said. We're from Grand Seal. But that's on the other... Yeah, that's on a completely different continent. I'd better leave. Devil soldiers, stop that force from Grand Seal. They're dangerous because they've discovered the power of boats. Oh man, now we're fighting wizards, the upgrade to mages. This is gonna be quite tough. So let's go check out the enemy. We're done fighting on dark maps, thankfully. So it's just a kind of a big open field with some trees. Still got some snipers. Got our dark bishops. More of these little dragon guys, the lesser demons. I guess they can also go out on the water because they can fly. And I believe this is the first time we've seen the wizard. Can't seem to get any more details on him though. I really want to see his stats screen, but... Oh, I just have to press Y, that's it. Oh, he's got Blaze 3, that's gonna be rough. A lot of defense too. I'm guessing the wizard is the boss. Oh, and Higgins over here is, Yes, I guess we'll basically just kind of walk forwards. Hopefully this will be a straightforward battle. Trying to get over to that wizard. Actually, in addition to this game, in general, I've been on like a little bit of a nostalgia gaming kick lately because I've been in the mood to replay all of the Pokemon Ranger games, which I really loved when they came out. They were really fun. And I'm like, man, I'm in the mood to replay them. Honestly, the gameplay still holds up. I'm like, it's very straightforward. It's not like a super complex gameplay, but it's fun. You know, sometimes all you need is something a little more basic. And of course, nostalgia tripping with Shining Force. Even though this one, you know, I have less nostalgia than the first one, because I never finished this one. Whereas, I don't think I ever got to the end boss of the first one, but I played most of the game. I don't remember whether I got the robot character, but I got everyone else. I think I did eventually maybe beat it, or at least get all the way to the end on an emulator. But, yeah, I love me some Shining Force. It's funny, I realized that even though, because I was looking back at my 3DS, you know, which I literally have not like turned on my 3DS in a couple of years because I've just been playing Switch all the time. And when I looked back, I realized even though I had thought that there was no accessible version of Sword of Asia, but actually it was on the Virtual Console for the Nintendo 3DS, and I do have it, although it's not in a format where that would be easy to record off of. But I did replay it in more recent years. It was still fun. I guess let's have her just heal for now. Actually, he's not even really hurt. Let's have her help out my more injured characters. I wish she had a multi-target heal. That would be nice. I'm gonna heal up Sarah because she's more fragile in general. All of these are single target. I want Aura. I need to find the character who gets Aura. There has to be one, right? Yeah, I'm a little bummed. I really thought there'd be a little more to do in Keto. It was a smaller town than I realized. It was really did not need to be its own episode. So it's just why instead we're doing this. I guess I'll just bust out a full-on blaze. I mean, Cousin's a little slow, so he might fall behind the others, so I might as well use it while I can. But yeah, I think I'm probably only gonna do one episode right now because I had a bunch of other stuff to do and didn't get around to recording again until fairly late, and I want to watch the debate after this, so I don't have time to record 2 episodes anyway. But I think I'm gonna have to take another little break to do some grinding in the fairy woods, or whatever it's called. I think it's the fairy wood. So that we can get some characters promotable, because I'm not... You can see that we're struggling to damage these enemies a little, and I'm assuming that's because the game was balanced around you buying the upgraded weapons, which we cannot because we are not promoted yet. But I do still want to actually grind until level 40 before promoting, just so we can, like, max everyone out and be absurd. I'm gonna have him not get the kill because he's sort of out-leveling everyone. And you know, you can really tell it's because I don't know if Peter promotes at all. He might. But what he does not do is use a weapon. He just attacks with, like, his Phoenix power or whatever. So my guess would be that his damage was not balanced around weapons, whereas everyone else's was, so that you get stronger as you get to new towns and buy new stuff. You know, it's an RPG. Standard. But we cannot do that right now, so hopefully she'll live this. She's fragile. Just barely. We are definitely behind where the game expects us to be in the power curve. Oh, this is rough. Yeah, so some grinding is probably necessary, and it's possible that means that we'll kind of steamroll the game a little bit, but I don't care about that. I do enjoy... I'm a little contrary in this way, because some games I will be annoyed if they're too easy. I'm like, I want this to be a little more challenging, but some games I'm like, I'm really playing this just to mess around and have fun. I don't care if it's particularly challenging. I'm fine with it just being just hijinks and just doing whatever. It depends on my mood. And for this game specifically, I do not feel a need for this to be like an ultra super challenge or anything. I'm just like, you know, whatever, just messing around. Then we can just play with whatever random characters we feel like, you know? Maybe I should try a boost. Oops. Well, maybe I'll use blast. I was too lazy to click the B button and click something else. Because I'm mostly playing this, it's like, oh, I never finished this as a kid. It's fun to go back and see how it holds up now and finally see how it ends. So to me, I'm kind of playing it, not playing it as like a intense gameplay challenge, you know, like see, you know, how hard of a mode can do. I'm playing it more just to be like, man, remember this character? And it's think back on those days, you know, kind of just a little trip through down memory lane, you know. So yeah, I really do not have a problem with just grinding until the game becomes somewhat easy. And also, to be fair, in terms of recording it, I'm gonna reuse the big heal just so that we can full heal her. You know, in terms of recording it, I really do not think this is particularly visually interesting, these fights. They're just long. Which, I know, it's like, well then why did you choose to record a game of this genre that is not particularly interesting to watch a half an hour of someone just tooling around on this map, just sort of fighting these enemies here and there. Because I really like Shining Force, obviously. But yeah, I think if we can sort of blast through these maps a little faster by being slightly over-leveled, that will make for more interesting videos and make us sort of get through the game a little more efficiently. I really don't think we, at some point, will be so lagging behind the power curve that it will just be irritating to watch. So, I just don't think it's the kind of game where a challenge run is... I think a challenge run would be really interesting to play and genuinely very challenging. I do not think it would be particularly interesting to watch a real-time video of someone doing that. You can make a video where you cut together or do like a screenshot one, I think, and keep it interesting, but I don't want to do either of those things. That's not my taste. Oh man, speaking of the Shining series, not Shining Force, because the impression after looking up like the Shining Force games to figure out if there were, because there were a couple other ones that never came to the US at all, so I didn't play them as a kid, but now exist, have fan translations that can be entered. So I was looking up the Shining series, and I realized, because as a kid, I only ever played Shining Force. I actually, as a kid playing on the actual console it was made for, I only ever played Shining Force Sword of Asia, which is kind of interesting because it was a Gaiden game, so it's like sort of connected to the plot of the others and vaguely mentions it, but you don't really have to know about it to understand the plot of that game. It's like a little side story. Yeah, this is fine. We're in range of 2 guys, but that's it, you know. They'll get close to us anyway. These guys are tough. This was the boss of the last map, and now it's a normal enemy. Ooh. Those guys have such high range. That's the other thing, too. The enemies now far outrange us, because the better weapons have much higher range, and we can't use them. What was I just saying? Oh, but anyway, yeah, so that was the only game I had played, so I thought of it as Shining Force, was just the whole series, but apparently, when I was looking this up, I discovered that the Shining Force games were only one part of the larger Shining series, which started with, I think the first game is called Shining in the Darkness. It's actually also in this collection. It's a dungeon crawler. I've played part of it. I haven't finished it because I'm not super into dungeon crawlers. I find them a little boring, to be honest. But I wanted to play it just because it is the first Shining game, so I played part of it. It's neat, you know. It definitely has the same like style of graphics, like super classic looking, you know, animation style and everything. So like, you can totally tell it's part of the same series just from like the art style. But to these Shining Force games, there were also a bunch of other games, like Shining Wisdom was one of them. There's a whole bunch of different Shining games. And the Shining Force ones are the ones that were tactics RPGs, like this. Which I guess makes sense, because it's like you're commanding an entire force of soldiers. It's the Shining Force. Get it? But there were actually a bunch of Shining games after these as well. Not all of them came to the US, and I think a lot of them were for consoles that I never owned as a kid, which explains why I'd never heard of them, but it was fascinating to see them all, and there actually is another Shining game currently available for the Nintendo Switch. It is not a new game, it is apparently a remake of an older Shining game that has been released on the Switch, with some like bonus modern content. And I played the demo of it, actually. There was an available demo, and it was very dumb. And the gameplay was also a little like, to me it just felt super laggy, and like it's like more of an action RPG. You're like running around a map, and there are separate battles, but you like control your character. They're not menu based. And the controls felt like weirdly kind of floaty and laggy. I did not think it was particularly good, but plot-wise, it seemed incredibly stupid and hilarious. And I was tempted to buy it, but I did not. We just got hit. Primarily because it was also a bit expensive, and I was like, I really don't want to spend this much money just to like play something because I think it's hilariously bad. This seems like a poor financial decision, but more recently, I was idly browsing through the current games on sale for the Switch, which I do periodically because a lot of stuff goes on sale for the Switch fairly frequently. So it's a nice way to see like what's some random stuff that's out there that maybe isn't like a big name game, you know, a well-known IP, so I wouldn't otherwise ever see it probably, but kind of just get a glimpse. And this game, which is called Shining Resonance, was actually on sale, and it was only like $12, so I did buy it. And I want to eventually film that one because I think it would be pretty funny. I think it would probably also be more interesting to watch than this because it is more active. It has like modern graphics, I guess. It seems very dumb though. I literally just played the demo and I was like, this game is not good enough that I would actually want to play it, but it's also real silly. Like, I think my favorite part, I did briefly look up just sort of a loose plot summary just to be like, what the hell is this? And a major part of the plot seems to be that everyone has these weapons that are also musical instruments that they can use to like summon dragons, which is amazing because musical instruments are not generally things that would be good as weapons because they're kind of fragile, so you really shouldn't like bash people over the head with them. But in this game you have like a flute that's also a sword and weird shit like that, and like a spear that's also an oboe and stuff, and a bow and that's also a harp, all of which is like, that would either be completely non-functional as a weapon because it would break, or it would be completely non-functional as a musical instrument because it couldn't play music. And yet somehow in the magical world of Shining Resonance, this all works fine. So that alone made me want to see more of it because it's so dumb. But there's all kinds of things about it that appear to be incredibly silly. Man, we really may need to grind. Like, I'm like, are we gonna be able to win this battle? We seem so weak. Look how little damage we did to the Dark Dwarf. And the thing is, yes, we can use magic, but magic, it does more fixed damage. So, I don't even know if we have enough MP to kill the 2 Dark Dwarves with just magic. It's gonna be tough. Critical hit only to 10 damage. We have got to, and we're also so slow. I'm assuming promote, you get better movement speed because wow, even on just like the grassy field here, we are going nowhere fast. So I can at least have you heal. Let's use the slightly weaker heal because your MP is just running out. We're also taking so much damage because we don't have very good defense, presumably because we did not promote yet, so we're weaker than the game thinks we should be, so we're just getting slaughtered too. Oh, but we're also like, because the amount of experience you get is partially based on your level, so there are certain points where we're not getting very much experience because our level is technically fairly high. Hopefully May will survive this. Oh, just barely. A little rough. At least we've made it so people cannot get double attacked as much here. Ugh, even the warrior is getting slaughtered. This is terrible. I feel like, wow, it's already almost half an hour. This battle, I would describe it as slow. Because we're just doing so little damage. It's taking half an hour to kill like one enemy. It's bad. And I am a little worried that we're just spreading the party out too much. Oh, but I could have him use bolts. I can only hit one of them, but it's something. I feel like if I have him go attack with sniper above him, then we're gonna be fighting 3 enemies at once, and we are just not able to succeed at that. Peter even can't get there. Well, let's have him attack the dark sniper. He can kind of handle this on his own. You know, he's quite... Does he just not promote? I feel like I have this vague memory that he does, though. Yeah, I feel like I have little choice but have him just attack with his spear, but he'll also, like... See, there's dark dwarves everywhere, so if he attacks this guy, he'll then get attacked by the dark dwarf and probably die, but we also need to get rid of the snipper, so I don't know. Do your best, buddy. Chester, you are not very good, but apparently you will be once we promote you, so I guess patience. I know Chester will, like, I realize Chester will die if we don't heal him, but I also want to finish off the sniper, because if we get attacked by him as well, then him plus the dark dwarf could one-shot somebody anyway between the two of them, so I think that's slightly more valuable in this particular instance. Very nice. At least we're gradually gaining levels, but yeah, we really need to grind. We're like 12 levels from the point where we can actually do anything. Janet is really terrible. She did 1 damage. You know, but the thing is, Elric was not better. Even a critical hit did 1 damage. These archers are just the worst. Oh, damn it. I went slightly too close and lured this guy in. Did not mean to. That sucks. That sucks. Yeah, we may do this whole video and just retreat and not achieve anything. That would be par for the course, really. Maybe he can at least do some. I feel like we're gonna die a bunch too. Wow, yeah, I think grinding has to be the next level stage here because look at this, friends. If dark dwarves become a common enemy and we are gonna be doing 2 damage to them with our melee fighters, that is not feasible. Kazan, how could you not do 1 more point of damage? Why are you so terrible? Why are all of you terrible? I guess Sarah can do 1 last heal here. Oh, maybe we can at least keep Chester alive. We're really behind the power curve. I now understand why this guide is like, you should grind in the whatever woods, because if you don't, you will have regrets. You will not be able to achieve very much. Yeah, now Jaha's gonna die. Like, we just couldn't do enough damage fast enough. And there's just... the dark dwarves are a real problem here. Their defense is absurdly high without the better weapons. And, you know, stats for being promoted, but we have to fight 3 of them here? They're just so difficult to kill. May's gonna die. I realize I could just promote everyone, but like, min-maxing friends. The min-maxing. I can't resist it. Hopefully we can at least kill 1 of them. Okay, I am going to... I think what I'm actually going to do is egress. And then we'll call it a day there. Because, you know... well, when I get back to the character who has it, I guess. Which I am not currently at. Yeah, I think I'll just, instead of stopping the video here, I'll just wait until I get back to Ben's turn, and then we can just egress, because I think we really need to grind. It will, here we are. Ben. Good thing I didn't use Bolt again, or that would be the end of it. Did we... Is it possible that egress brings you back to the last place you saved, doesn't it? Okay, well, you know what? I had to go backwards anyway, because I have to go back to the Fairy Woods, so that's actually fine. There's going to be a fair amount of backtracking that is going to happen off camera. I won't even film the grinding as a bonus video or whatever, because real talk, I don't think that would even be entertaining. It's just going to be a bunch of grinding. It's literally just grinding. There's nothing. I guess we might as well save the game. I need to actually save the game in other spots, because otherwise, I've only been using save states, so we have not saved the game since we were in our hometown. Oh, oops. Well, whatever. We are actually taking a rest. That's it for today. That is it for today, because it turns out that I'm not saying I couldn't win that battle. I'm sure we could. I just have to go forward a little more carefully and not aggro everything at once, but it would take a really long time. It would be very tedious, and it would not be particularly entertaining to watch. I'm just going to get us to the point where we can promote some people and be like level 1 promoted or whatever. Come back again when your team is stronger. So we'll find the trick. Maybe I'll do like one video in the Fairy Woods just so we can see what it is and what it looks like, you know, but all the grinding I will not. I'm going back to the title screen now, but yeah, this has been Wandering Dragon with Shining Force 2. We accomplished really nothing in the last half hour, but you know, next time we meet, our characters will be promoted, so at least we'll be able to show off everyone's new promoted form. So look forward to that. Thanks for watching, Hypothetical.